Hi everyone, it's me again, Chadie. Welcome back to my channel. So we're back again guys for the newest update on Advanced Server and we're in patch 1.6.24. Our first hero is Valentina. Valentina deserves more firepower to match the risk she takes. Her passive, lifesteal effect is 50% up to 60%. Skill 1. Terror duration become 1 second. Her magic power bonus is up to 150% and her skill range is slightly increased. Eamonn. His passive enhanced basic attack's base damage is down to 100. His skill 1 shard magic power bonus is down to 15%. And before the number of shards of her ultimate is 6 to 20 become 8 to 25. Single hit damage was slightly reduced while the total damage was basically unchanged. The cooldown of his ultimate is increased from 32 seconds to 38 seconds. Khalid. His overall performance is slightly increased and the gameplay experience is improved. The slow effect of his passive is now up to 50% and the energy charging speed during skill 1 and ultimate is increased. Skill 1. Force swing time was greatly reduced. Base damage is 170 to 520. Damage increase per cast is now 15%. The damage to minions is 50 to 75%. Scales with skill level. Ultimate. His ultimate first attack damage is 80% and the physical attack is 50%. The second attack's base damage reduced from 800 down to 750. Bane. Skill 1's new effect. Enemies hit are slowed by 10% magic power for 1 second. Skill 2. They increase his skill by making it scale with his magic power. And they also increase the cooldown reduction you get from magic power stats. It means higher heal and shorter cooldown for his second skill. Barats. Barats' durability further reduced. His base defense is reduced by 5%. Popol and Koopa. The developer preventing part of the buff from the previous patch. His base HP become 2425, that is reverted to the official server version. Nathan. Nathan's early game damage is slightly reduced. The base damage of his skill 1 is now up to 465. Beatrix. The developer is lowering the damage difference between Beatrix's different weapons. Brenner's ultimate is now 280%, which means she gains 30% of her physical attack bonus. Wesker's ultimate is now 260 to 430 base damage. Bennett's ultimate damage is now balanced. The decay ratio is now up to 20%. Ibiru's ultimate is down to 200 to 320 base damage. Agura. Her early game performance slightly increased. Her skill 1 is now up to 310 to 590 base damage. And the mana cost of her skill 2 is reduced, which means you can spam her skill and harass the enemy in the early game. Masilda. The developer lowering Masilda's control difficulty and balancing out of her strength and higher play. Skill 1's base damage is now 425 to 700. The decay ratio is reduced by 10%. Skill 2's mana cost is now 75 to 100. Her ultimate enhanced to 60 to 7 wisps base damage. Hayabusa. Life's been too easy for Hayabusa with his new mobility tools, so the developer is slowing him down a bit. Skill 2's cooldown is now 20 seconds to 16 seconds. And the cooldown of his ultimate is now 50 seconds. Pakido. We're further nerfing the boxing champion's performance in a higher play. The cooldown of his ultimate now is 20 seconds to 18 seconds. Phoveus. Phoveus' skill 1 is now 250 to 500 base damage. Mana cost is reduced by 5%. The damage to minions is now 160%. Argus. His passive enhanced basic attack's physical attack bonus by 120%. Aulus. His mobility is slightly increased. Skill 1 cooldown is now 12 to 7 seconds. Glue. Glue's late game performance is slightly increased. Skill 2 cooldown is now 5 to 8 seconds. Granger. The developer fixed an issue where Granger couldn't attack speed from equipment and emblems correctly. His passive is down to a 40% attack speed ratio. Odette. The developer boosting Odette's performance in one-on-one duels when there's only one enemy around. The sound wave will now bounce between Odette and the enemy. Skill 2's magic energy ball's flying speed slightly increased. Carry. Easing up on Carrie's mana constraint so she could be more proactive with her skills in the laning phase, also slightly upping her early game damage. The mana cost of her skill 1 is now 40 to 65. Mana cost of her ultimate is now 70 to 90. The Light Wheel's damage ratio is enhanced to 66%. Bruno. Bruno's skill 1 is now 120 to 320 enhanced basic attack space damage. Clint. We're amping up Clint's burst damage in the early to mid game and smoothing out the damage scaling of his enhanced basic attacks. His passive enhances basic attack. Cord. His ultimate is up to 220 to 350 base damage. X-Borg's early game durability is reduced. His base HP is down to 918 Firaga Armor's base HP reduced accordingly. Jawhead. His support ability is reduced and the damage ability is increased. Skill 2's cooldown is now 15 to 12 seconds. The damage of his ultimate is enhanced. So what do you guys think about the new update? Are you excited about the update? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Peace y'all.